Hello and welcome to 10 Minute Tabletop. I'm Devin.
And I'm Darren.
And here are the biggest stories from tabletop gaming in the past week in 10 minutes or less so you can get back to playing the game.
Our first story today, there is a new way to make money in tabletop RPGs. YouTuber Trek Eros put out a major confession this week. He didn't playtest anything from his award-winning, best-selling book, Home Field Advantage. In fact, many tabletop RPG designers he spoke to also don't playtest their monsters, crafting rules, or even full-on campaigns, it turns out.
The industry doesn't really have the money for playtesting.
Yeah.
And unlike video games where there's millions of playtesters, well, not millions, but there's a lot of people who will playtest. You'll even put things in early access. You'll get kind of like public feedback to it. But to fix this problem, Trickers started QuestCheck, a website where designers can post their games for playtesting and anyone can sign up to give their feedback. Payment for playtesting can come in the form of discount codes, free PDF, or even money.
Yeah, so putting it back to the community to kind of like crowdsource this work.
Here's the problem. This is really a new way to make money in tabletop role-playing games. Mm-hmm. If you're a professional GM, you're running games to make money, but you can start running playtest games and then you could give that info back and you can make money running playtest games along with writing your own things to make passive income, selling them on DM's Guild. But in an industry where it's very small, it's very niche, there's not a lot of ways to make money, a new path coming forward is great. And it's also all open source. So if someone wants to build upon this or tools for it, they can. Our next story, we talk about Cynthia Williams has stepped down as the president of Wizards of the Coast.
According to a filing with the SEC this week, on April 15th, after 2 years, Cynthia Williams will be officially stepping down as the president of Wizards of the Coast. In a statement, Hasbro said that they have not yet found a successor, but they are currently searching for her replacement. Wizards of the Coast saw some of its biggest successes with her at the helm, such as the acquisition of D&D Beyond and the D&D movie, Honor Amongst Thieves, and Baldurs Gate 3.
D&D is more popular now than ever. Its success has been the Wizards of the Coast earnings have been a light in the dark when the parent company Hasbro has been struggling in other areas. But it hasn't been all good. They've had their fair share of bad PR, the OGL crisis, AR issues, the incident last April where Wizards of the Coast sent Pinkerton investigators to a YouTuber's house to retrieve mistakenly sold cards from an unreleased set. So it's really kind of balanced out. And why is this important? Well, one, it's very odd that there's no succession in place.
Yeah.
Companies like Hasbro, these large billion-dollar public companies, always have a succession plan.
Yeah, that means she left of her own accord.
It could be her own accord. There could be something that's coming out about it. We don't know. But the thing is, Cynthia Williams did great for the Hasbro stake shareholders. Mm-hmm. She did not do great in the terms of the overall community and how people view Wizards of the Coast. So it is kind of this really weird dichotomy where, corporations have we want the bottom line and that's what they got. And the community is like, hey, we don't feel like we're being heard. We feel like you're going against what our wishes as your customers.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see who's going to step in her shoes. And there are critics ready to see if this next person is going to follow in her footsteps or if they're going to be leaning more towards the community. But at the end of the day, the execs are at the will of the shareholders.
Yeah.
And in our next story,
Hasbro is set to make a Baldurs Gate sequel. Following Larian Studios' decision to move away from Dungeons & Dragons, the future of the Baldurs Gate franchise has now become uncertain. Larian, known for its successful revival of the classic RPG series with Baldurs Gate 3, has stepped back, leaving questions about potential sequels or spin-off. Eugene Evans, the Senior Vice President of Digital Strategy and Licensing for Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, has confirmed that a sequel to Baldurs Gate 3 is planned, but indicated that finding the right development partner might take time. So Hasbro, owning D&D, is carefully considering its options here, aiming to avoid a long gap like the 25 years between Baldur's Gate 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. The departure of Larian has also raised concerns about the future of the series' beloved characters such as Shadowheart and Asterion, who are now under Wizards of the Coast ownership. These characters, integral to the Baldur's Gate 3 experience and beloved by fans, could potentially appear in future projects, maintaining their status within the D&D canon. Hasbro's approach to into future games, including exploring various genres and platforms, aims to satisfy the robust appetite of D&D fans for new content. With the company investing in the new D&D game development, the next few years promise diverse and engaging expansions of the D&D universe, ensuring that the franchise remains vibrant and faithful to its roots.
Why is this important? Larian said they were really excited to pass the torch onto a new studio to take out the mantle for Baldur's Gate 4. Who is going to want to do that? The shoes that they have to fill are huge. And if you mess it up, that could tank your entire studio. One game can't really tank most studios, but as more studios are becoming more lean, it could actually spell the end for a studio that makes the misstep in Baldur's Gate 4. Also, I mean, I assume that Hasbro, seeing how successful Baldur's Gate 3 was, is going to try to get really good terms in the next one, which could cripple a studio before they even begin. But we know, for one thing, Hasbro sees a huge financial opportunity with Baldur's Gate 4, and they want to deliver on that. What I think is interesting is the idea when Hasbro talks about these characters. We could see these characters in the D&D's relaunch in New Adventures. We could see these characters in a D&D book. We could see these characters in D&D comics.
Yeah.
Can Hasbro continue to make these characters outside of Baldur's Gate 3 and bring them into the other aspects of their game?
Yeah, I mean, you can already play them on D&D Beyond. If you go into the D&D Beyond character creation, you can play as any of the characters in Baldur's Gate 3. This game is a cult classic at this point. So they, like you said, will have very, very big shoes to fill. And let's hope that they stick to their word and take their time with it. Because if they rush this and get it wrong, people are going to be pissed.
Hey, quick message from our sponsors, StartPlaying.games. StartPlaying is the #1 platform for finding games, groups, and game masters. If you're looking to start playing Dungeons & Dragons, Vaesen, Monster of the Week, or any other tabletop RPG out there, you can find that game on StartPlaying. You can use the link in the description for $10 off when you sign up for a new account. You can find a game today. It makes it so easy. You can read reviews, so you can make sure the play style of that pro GM matches what you're looking for. You can also search by the days and times that work best for you. Check out StartPlaying today and start playing today. Now, you know that me and Darren love the game Monopoly Go. I still haven't met anyone who plays this game.
That's a joke, you guys.
But Margot Robbie is moving from Mattel with Barbie over to Hasbro for the Monopoly movie.
Yay.
Variety reported that Margot Robbie and her production company, Lucky Chap Entertainment, along with partners Tom Ackerley and Joseph McNamara, are set to produce a live-action feature film based on the world-renowned board game Monopoly. The project, also backed by Hasbro Entertainment, will see Lionsgate participating as the co-producer following their acquisition of E1, which has extended Lionsgate's development rights to the game Monopoly. Known for its broad appeal, significant historical presence since 1935, boasts nearly universal recognition worldwide, and has sold almost 1 billion copies across 100 countries. We know it from McDonald's. We know it from all. They have a Critical Role Monopoly. They have a New York. They have every single Monopoly is out there.
I'm so curious of what this movie could be about.
The creative approach to transforming this simplistic real estate-based board game Monopoly into a narrative film remains undisclosed. However, the involvement of Lucky Chap suggests an innovative adaptation could be on the horizon, especially considering the company's recent success with the blockbuster film Barbie, which grossed $1.4 billion globally in 2023. At CinemaCon Las Vegas, Adam Fogelson of Lionsgate Motion Pictures Group expressed confidence in Lucky Chap's vision for the Monopoly movie, anticipating another major hit.
I am so curious as to what this movie is going to be about, but in addition to this venture into board game adaptations, Lucky Chap continues to diversify its portfolio with a variety of projects, including the Sundance hit My Old Ass and the upcoming comedy Naughty by Olivia Wilde. Meanwhile, Hasbro Entertainment eagerly anticipates the opportunity to explore the storytelling potential of one of its most iconic games, supported by Lucky Chap's creative insight and Lionsgate's cinematic expertise. The collaboration promises to deliver a fresh and engaging take on a beloved classic that has entertained generations of players around the globe.
Why is this important? Well, I mean, listen, Hasbro and Mattel are some of the biggest toy companies in the world, right? Mattel had a crush with Barbie. And so, of course, Hasbro's seen that, like, hey, we should do the same.
I'm not surprised that they, got their little hands over, if Barbie can do it, we can do it.
And it is one of the most successful IPs. I mean, with all the different variations they have, with Monopoly Go's success as one of the highest downloaded games on mobile of all time, beating out Candy Crush. They're hoping to push further into that. And Margot Robbie already having conquered Barbie, so I guess this makes sense. Chris Cox did say that they had a number of movies and TV shows either in development or already produced.
But what I want to know is what Hasbro property will be next. You guys let me know in the comics. Will it be Play-Doh? Will it be My Little Pony? Hungry Hungry Hippo? Scrabble? Mr. Potato Head? Tonka Trucks? Connect 4? We'll see. You guys tell us.
I know. I'm very excited to see like what Hasbro kind of digs into. You know, and the thing is, Hasbro has also made steps to. They've developed a new IP, which is Exodus. It's that video game we have talked about, and so that's kind of like one of the new IPs coming to Hasbro, which they haven't done a lot of new IP. Like Hasbro hasn't really developed. They've acquired a lot, but they haven't made something new.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see like what happens with Exodus. That's all the news we have for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to support the show, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Total Party Chill. You can also support the show by sharing it with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.